John chapter 14, verse 1. So we are at Mount Batur here now. Some volcanic rocks that I have here in my hand. There's a lot of it, if you can see, lying there. Right. The soil is, because we know with the acid volcanoes, the soil here is very good. On the way here, lots of farms, agriculture, it all looks great. So if someone growing up on the farm, wonderful to be here, to just feel kind of at home. Verse 1. Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. Why did Jesus start off with this? Okay, here in the previous chapter, he washed the feet of the disciples. Then he had this teaching, and he has well explained that one of them will betray him, another one is going to deny him, right? Judas and Peter, that is. We have seen as well, the whole idea with the washing of the feet was to get them into that, to show them in a way, an earthly example of ultimately a higher earthly example of dying for someone else, which in a certain sense, no, I would say is actually a heavenly example. But anyhow, because we see that really from Christ's dying for your enemies, Romans 5:8, I've mentioned it a number of times. Okay. Other videos, that is. So with that background lying, and then he said, we need to love one another, by that the world will know that you're truly my disciples. So he laid the foundation for this teaching that is going to happen now. So the foundation ultimately is the servanthood, the giving of yourself, even to your enemies, right? Like Christ did, of serving each other, of loving each other. By serving each other, you show that you love each other. And yes, sure, with hearing that one is going to betray him, another is going to deny him just before Peter told him, then Jesus told them that they must not, they must not let their hearts be troubled. I mean, how can your heart not be troubled? You just heard that one of you is going to betray him. You're having this great meal. Yes, it's a Passover. You're all there. It's a Passover time. You have been there a number of Passovers. It's always this great occasion. It was a humongous occasion for the Jews. All of that. And now all of a sudden you hear amongst the 12, one's going to betray, one is going to deny. And Jesus is going back and they can't follow. Shocking. Totally shocking. And that is understandable why Jesus said, let your hearts not be troubled. Like, how can our hearts not be troubled? After everything you said and what he's going to say, how can our hearts not be troubled? So Jesus is like, let your hearts not be troubled. All you need to do is believe in God. Believe in me. Because he's God. Right? Believe in God, believe in me. I mean, here he equates himself again with God. It's like, all you need is to believe in God, believe in me, right? What saves you? Believe in Christ, believe in God, ultimately. So, okay, and so Jesus, it's a lot of times in our lives as well where we feel as if life is just, everything is going wrong. Everything that seemingly can go wrong is going wrong. And according to a video I saw, someone sent to me yesterday about how this guy said that you must never complain about your life now, because then God's going to say, if you complain about your life now, then God is going to show you how bad it can get. And if you say, oh man, I have the best life now, then God is going to show you, oh no, you don't even know how good it can get, kind of idea, right? That kind of nonsense, false theology. That's from the devil itself, from the gates of hell, like I would say, direct from there. So this is not what Jesus is saying, right? This is opposite of that kind of theology. They are troubled. Everything seems to be falling apart. And Jesus say, okay, so don't worry. Let your hearts not be troubled. All you need to do in all of this is to believe in God. Believe in me, that's all. Verse 2, in my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Right? So he's saying, in my Father's house. So it's not like, oh man, I remember growing up and we had all this about in heaven, there's going to be these big mansions and everything, because I kind of, from this verse, we get this idea. But the fact of the matter is, he's speaking of house, not houses. He's speaking of house, and in the house, lots of rooms. Okay, so it's not lots of condos or lots of something else there, kind of idea. Okay, maybe condos. And yeah, that's maybe a better. There's not lots of villas out there, right? Just one house with lots of rooms. Now, again, don't get this idea that heaven is this humongous building like they try to portray in these superhero movies or something like that, or Star Wars. It's just this island, this planet is just a building kind of idea. No, 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 no. This is not what Jesus is saying here. He's not portraying that. He's not saying that, oh, I mean, the whole heaven consists of one building. In this building, you just all have in one room, and you'll never be able to see any green grass or mountains or anything like that, right? Just rooms and the walls, and if you're lucky, maybe a window out into a other part of the house kind of idea. Like, if you go to Hong Kong, you look out of the window, you just look into another building. It's just the square and everything is like built up like that, right? No, that's not. Heaven is not Hong Kong. No, not at all. So this is not what Jesus is saying. Well, he's speaking about the fact that there's a lot of place, right, ultimately. So you can't draw conclusions there's going to be villas there or there's just going to be one big room, one big house, okay? He's getting to the idea there's a lot of room. It's his Father's house. There's a lot of rooms, not rooms. And you say, if that were not the case, okay, in other words, if there was just space for one place, for one person, so like, it gets as well back to the idea of people say, oh, only a few people were saved. Well, God knows his elect. He knows how many will be saved. But there will be lots of rooms, many rooms. Many doesn't mean one or two, okay? In any room there is, and any person that will only be there by the grace of God, nothing else. As Jesus said, so so if there were not many rooms there, then how can I tell you I'm going to prepare a place for you? Say if there was only one room, then I'm like, okay, right, so who of you will I take there? Maybe John. The rest, nah, goodbye, all gone, because you're all going to deny me, right? So he's saying there are many rooms, and therefore I can tell you that I'm going to prepare a place for you, because there's space enough for all of you, right? And through the ages, many, many, many millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions more, by the grace of God. So this is what Jesus is going to do. He is, while at this stage, he's preparing the place for when he comes, and he will take, because it's a new heaven and a new earth. Okay, and as well, yeah, new heaven and a new earth. So this you see here will be here, but it will be renewed. We're not going to have plastic, garbage lying around. Like, I don't think you can see it in the camera, but there are lots of garbage. Okay, here. There are lots more over there. I don't know why, but this is in the new heaven, new earth. We're a renewed place. We're not going to have that. We're not going to have volcanoes burst out and destroy things and stuff like that.